Today we are still in Friuli Venezia Giulia, and after the visit to Aquileia we continue on a straight road to the sea. This road, flanked by a beautiful cycle path, is located on a thin strip of land in the middle of the sea, and will take us to the island of Grado. Having arrived on the island, we pass the port, we go directly to the rest area with all the services for campers, and just 10 minutes walk from the beach. Alternatively, there are some mixed car parks with spaces reserved for campers without services, but very cheap, only €4 for 24 hours. The whole area is well connected by cycle paths, which we also use to reach the historic center of Grado in just a few minutes. Along the route we find the Parco del Rose, a quiet and shaded green space right behind the beach, and while the children are having fun on the playground, parents can relax while sipping cold drinks. Once we reach the center, we find a seaside resort, which has a lively historic center all year round, and which has managed to maintain the charm of times gone by. There are numerous shops and restaurants, but above all, ice cream shops that offer excellent artisanal ice cream. In the square in front of the town hall, marked by white tiles, you can recognize the plans of an ancient baptistry, and the Basilica della Corte, whose remains found at the beginning of the 1900s can be admired via walkways. The mosaics and sarcophagi that we see are transparent, which were inside the basilica of the 4th century AD. Many streets in the historic center of Grado are still called Calli, and the restored houses still respect the Venetian style. We willingly get lost walking through the alleys and squares, enjoying a bit of tranquility, and we discover how much love the people of Grado put into making their city welcoming. We soon arrive at the Basilica of St. Euphemia, built on the remains of a church from the 6th century AD. Inside there are still well-preserved mosaics that formed the floor of the old church, and which today have more 1,500 years old. On the altar there is a gilded silver altarpiece from the 1300s, and on the west side of the church you can see a niche with the statue of the Madonna degli Angeli, to which the people of Grado are very devoted. Next to the church is the hexagonal baptistry, with other well-preserved and restored mosaics. In the center, the marble baptismal font reminds us that once upon a time the rite of baptism involved the complete immersion of adults in consecrated water. Between the church and the baptistry, through a narrow passage, you reach the lapidary, where numerous archaeological finds from the 3rd and 6th centuries AD have been collected, but there are also columns, capitals, and sarcophagi of Roman era. All the work was done on stone or marble, hence the name lapidary. The oldest church is the Basilica of Santa Maria del Grazie, where inside the columns are all different and the mosaics are located 1 meter lower than today's flooring. Towards the evening the center comes alive with tourists, who love to stop for dinner in the numerous restaurants that serve typical dishes of the Grado tradition, such as brodetto, a fish soup and sardines in sour, and among the illuminated alleys. From the street lamps, the atmosphere is truly very suggestive. In the splendid morning light, we discover the Grado Dam, built already in 1700 to defend the city from storm surges. The one we see today, built by the Austrians at the end of the 1800s, is much appreciated for walks, but also as an alternative for sunbathing or swimming. Today we are lucky enough to witness the Blue Flag Award ceremony, which Grado has been proud to obtain for several years now for its clean sea and eco-sustainable services. The beach is large and well equipped with deck chairs and multicolored umbrellas. For those who don't want to be separated from their four-legged friends, there are equipped spaces where the animals can stay free together with their owners. Let's not forget, however, that Grado is a city of fishermen, who can be seen busy on their boats moored at the port, intent on preparing the necessary equipment for sea fishing. Grado also attracts many kitesurfing enthusiasts, the sport practiced at sea with a surfboard and a sail, which on a day of favorable wind amuses those who practice it, but also those who stop to admire the colored sails blown up by the wind. Along the coast, a pedestrian cycle path takes us towards the greenest part of Grado, where there are many residential buildings immersed in the pine forest. Grado is located at the end of the Alp-Adria cycle path, which starts from Salzburg and allows all cycle tourism enthusiasts to reach the sea on their bikes. But Grado is definitely bike-friendly. Once Alp-Adria is over, it is possible to continue on another cycle path, up to Isola della Cona, very interesting for bird-watching enthusiasts, but also reach Monfalcone. Today early in the morning we take the ferry, which in about half an hour will take us to the island of Barbana, in the heart of the Grado Lagoon. On this small island there is one of the oldest sanctuaries in the world, because it dates back to the 6th century AD. It seems that after a violent storm the image of the Madonna was found right on the island where a tomb was then built, which became a pilgrimage destination. As thanks to the Madonna for having saved the people of Grado after a plague epidemic, the Festa del Padon has been held since 1237. It is a procession of boats that carries the statue of the Madonna degli Angeli from Grado to the island of Barbana. The procession is held every year on the first Sunday of July and ends in this sanctuary, which was built in the early 1900s on the remains of the older previous churches, of which however the wooden statue of the Madonna by an unknown author remains. The sanctuary hosts in the pilgrim's house all those who wish to spend a period of meditation and prayer immersed in the nature of this beautiful island. Grado is called the Island of the Sun, because it seems that if it rains in Friuli the wind from Grado sweeps away the clouds and makes the sun shine. We found it rich in history, tidy and welcoming, an ideal place for a quiet and regenerating holiday.